This video illustrates how you build a dataset with XperiDo. A dataset is a schema definition that defines which data will be collected from a source application to be merged into a template. In other words, it's a tree that contains fields which you can map into your XperiDo document template. Let's have a look at a template and zoom into its dataset, which is part of the XperiDo pane to the right of the template in Word. This example is a dataset based on Microsoft Dynamics CRM data, starting from the quote entity. It contains all relevant quote fields, but also fields from related entities, such as the potential customer of this quote, which is an account in this case, or the contact record this quotation is addressed to. It also contains the quote details, which are the line items of the quote, and for each of those line items, the actual product that is quoted. All of these relationships are many-to-one relationships in the CRM database structure, except for the quote details. That's a one-to-many relationship. There can be more than one line item in a quote, of course, for in this case, as you can see here. XperiDo supports any type of relationship and any degree of relationship as well. Now let's have a look at how you build such a dataset. The action starts in the XperiDo Online Management Console that is available through the Microsoft Dynamics CRM sitemap. In the Dataset section of the console, you can create a new dataset by simply clicking the New Dataset tile. You give the dataset a name, for instance quote in this case for a quote dataset, and a description. Next up, you can select the primary entity, which is the root element of the tree. That's the quote entity in this case, but you can select any standard or custom CRM entity here. Okay, so let's start building now. The graphical builder has a canvas with two columns, a column with fields on the right and a column with relations on the left. On the right side, you can check or uncheck fields of the primary entity which you want to include or exclude from your dataset. You'll see some of these fields have a flyout marker. That's because they refer to a many-to-one related entity underneath, like potential customer for instance, which is a lookup to an account or a contact record. Let's select account here, and as we do that, this will add the account entity to your data, and you'll be able to select fields and relations of that entity as well now. Let's pick up a couple more related entities, like the owner of the quote for instance, which is a team or a user. So let's pick up the user here, and the quote contact, which is a custom lookup to a contact record. A quote also has line items, or quote products as they're called in Microsoft Dynamics CRM. You can have more than one of those in a quote obviously, and they typically appear in the subgrid on the quote form in CRM. Such subgrid relationships, one-to-manys or many-to-manys, well, they're available on the left column of your dataset builder. Let's pick up the quote products here. As you can see, as we select the quote products, they appear on the right side as well. So we can now go in on the right side and select the fields we need of the quote product entity, like the lookup to the underlying product record. And like this, you can continue building and building and building. There's no limit on how many fields you include in a dataset or how many degrees of relationship you include. After you save your dataset, you can now go on and create templates and connect them to this dataset. For your template designer's convenience, you can also add one or more sample records to the dataset, so they can test and preview the templates based on this dataset with relevant CRM data right from the Word Designer.